Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Sunday, May the 21st. First up, a bunch of X-Plane news beginning with Flight Factor. Flight Factor recently announced their A320 is coming soon. I missed this last week, which was a terrible oversight since it's such a big deal. Flight Factor have apparently spent the last 2 years working on a study level simulation of the Airbus A320. This is not going to be a typical Flight Factor aircraft. There's no beginner's mode, there's no hand holding built in. It is designed from the ground up to be a training aid for actual A320 pilots. Every single system in the aircraft is simulated, which means of course that pressing a switch in the cockpit doesn't just make a noise and play a sound, it activates the correct simulated feature or system behind the switch. It also features an external flight model, which is a first for X-Plane, complete with accurate modeling of all phases of flight, including transonic effects, high-speed stalls, and much, much more. The aircraft is going to come with 4K textures, and most importantly of all, I think, it includes all autopilot modes, which are particularly tricky to simulate in an Airbus, including undocumented features of the actual aircraft. No idea of a release date just yet. As for the price though, Flight Factor have said that given the complexity of this simulation, it is likely to be more expensive than a normal Flight Factor add-on. Sticking with X-Plane, Aerosoft Dallas Fort Worth. Now, Aerosoft Dallas Fort Worth for X-Plane was developed by Omar Masroor. It of course models the world's third largest airport and the third busiest airport with 7 runways, 5 terminals, 165 gates, 3 towers, and handles 1,800 flights per day. Dallas is also of course a hub for American Airlines. The add-on features scenery at a resolution of 30 cm per pixel and 1 cm per pixel for ground markings, and comes with completely accurate lighting and markings, animated boarding bridges, and a VDGS at all gates using the free AutoGate plugin. It is of course also compatible with X-Life. Terminal interiors are included, as well as tons of other detail including parked cars, street lights, and all of that is completely customizable and can be disabled to improve performance. Aerosoft's Dallas Fort Worth for X-Plane is available right now for X-Plane 10 and 11. The price is $24.99. More information at the Aerosoft forum link in the show notes below. Sticking with X-Plane and Nimbus Orlando. As is often the case with X-Plane videos, the video you are watching is from my good friend Thomas Rasmussen, who is without doubt probably the best X-Plane promo maker on the intertubes today. You can check out his full video and his channel at the link in the show notes below. Nimbus's latest scenery for X-Plane, of course, models the airport of the city beautiful Orlando. It is the 14th busiest airport in the United States and the 2nd busiest in Florida after Miami. In quotes, it is super detailed, according to Nimbus, with trees also in quotes like you haven't seen before. The scenery features animated jetways with the AutoGate plugin, animated ground traffic and people with the ground traffic plugin, animated trains, ATC compliant taxi routes, static aircraft, HDR lighting, and dynamic reflections on the water and terminal glass. This is actually a pretty big deal and only available in X-Plane 11, in the same way that shadows suddenly add a whole new level of immersion when you try a sim with them. Seeing yourself in window reflections as you taxi past the terminal is equally awesome. It is available right now for X-Plane 10 and 11 and costs $24.95 from the xplane.org store, linked in the show notes below. Next up, Just Flight's C-46 Commando for FSX and Prepared. Just Flight this week unveiled their upcoming C-46 Commando on their development page. The Commando is of course a World War II era twin-engine transport, still in use today as a transport, most notably by Buffalo Airways. 3 versions will be included, military, cargo, and civilian, and the military and civilian will also have different cockpit layouts, with the civilian one modeled on the C-46 used at Buffalo Airways. The aircraft features HD textures, full and accurate animations inside and out, and a high-quality custom sound set. I did not get the impression from the list of features that this will be a study-level sim, but time will tell. Do check out the development page at Just Flight, linked in the show notes below yourself, for the full list of features and more information. Next up, Dovetail Flight Sim World entered early access this past week. Dovetail's new simulator is now available in early access. It is of course an update to Microsoft's Flight Simulator, bringing it up to 64-bit and adding new technologies and features, most notably DirectX 11, shadows, HDR, improvements to the flight model, and an expanded set of default scenery courtesy of Orbex FTX Global. Reviews have been mixed, and at the time of recording 67% of them on Steam are positive, most notable complaints being focused on bugs causing significantly disappointing performance. Now, although some on the internet are calling it Flight Sim 2017, Flight Sim World is actually a regression more than an improvement in many areas right now. Bear in mind this is early access, notably a complete lack of helicopters and jets, no dynamic weather support, limited support for deciding where your aircraft starts, reduced performance, and removing options that most of us use to manage performance, and much, much more. Hopefully these are all issues that will get sorted by Dovetail during the early access period. One notable point though is that FSDT, or FS Dream Team, made an announcement on their forums about the new simulator and Dovetail's stance on third-party support. They pointed out that Dovetail's announcements have said that in order to be an official add-on, devs need to sell on the Dovetail store and on Steam, both those stores taking a significant cut of the developer's income. That does not mean, however, that devs can't sell unofficial add-ons as they currently do in Train Sim World. We will see how that pans out if and when Dovetail release an API that people can use. Finally, Vision of Flight, a bit of a public service announcement here. As many of you know, I am a strong supporter of local charity Vision of Flight, an organisation focused on introducing kids to careers in aviation. If you are in the Knoxville area, they have been sponsored by Destination Imagination to exhibit at the Innovation Expo May 24th, that's this coming week, through the 27th. They did the same thing last year and they were one of the big hits at a show that attracted over 17,000 people. They are trying this year to raise funds to help sponsor kids into their summer camp and also for their fall promotions. The first Vision of Flight STEM Aviation Summer Camp takes place this July at Orlando Executive Airport, and they are trying to get costs covered to get 30 kids into that camp for free. The camp will cover ground school basics, virtual reality, building UAVs, flying sims, and of course flying real aircraft. Do please head on over to visionoflight.org, I'm deadly serious, and click that donate button. I plan to make an appearance at the camp as well to help out with the sim side of things, and if you love this new show and you watch every week, please do me a huge favor, head on over to visionoflight.org and donate $1 or $2 to say thank you. Nothing crazy, every little helps. That's it for this week's show. As always, if I did miss something crucial, leave me a comment in the comment section below or take a look to see whether it should be included in next week's show. Until then though, thank you so much for watching and I will see you all very soon.